All right, here we go. As you can see, I brought home the gold. I would say, in realistic terms, though, only two medals. Just to hit it off and make it clear, when I won my only right hand medal in second place, it was only because me and Paul Italia were the only ones in that class. Cujo's, by the way, now that I'm mentioning your name, Paul, thanks for everything. Thank you for your kindness, patience, and understanding. I don't care what anybody says about you. Yeah, you may, you know, stir the pot or whatever, but I get it. I feel like you doing that is trying to get eyes on whatever's going on. Get promoters looking and stuff like that, and I get it. It's part of the business, I guess you could say. I mean, look at guys like Devin Larratt who talk shit, you know, just all the time, just about. But it makes for good television and spices things up. Um, it's a great experience, very humbling. I am so glad it's over, and I'm very glad and happy to have made it out alive without an injury. First off, I'm just going to name a whole bunch of people I need to be thankful to, because that's the whole point of this. First off, I'd like to thank Jay and Daryl, my wonderful roommates. More particularly Daryl, for letting me use his truck so I could go to Florida with my broke ass, and made it back safely, obviously. No problems, no nothing. That Ford Ranger is great on gas. I want to thank the Middle Georgia Pullers, but more particular, just a few certain guys. I want to thank Mike Daniels for the help and support, lending me jiu-jitsu belt, advice, pushing me a little bit as well to get into a tournament and get the experience and everything. Mason for his time and efforts in relation to me. I'd like to thank Doc. Unfortunately, me and him aren't on talking terms anymore, but that's just how things go. But for his advice and what have you, he's given me, along with Keith Andrews, and his advice and stuff. Working in the 5-star nutrition field, I believe, or something like that, where he knows, some interesting stuff to enhance your performance or what have you. As far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, Keith. Because honestly, I don't know what you do. Honestly, you already know, but I haven't met this guy, Keith Andrews, but like 2 times in person. He's very comical, very funny guy too, and he's also like me. He's a Capricorn. There is one main person I'd like to thank, but he's no longer alive. But if any of his extended family or what have you, just know that your son was a very integral, a very important part of this journey of mine in arm wrestling, and the few nuggets he gave me. And for example, with the flop press or whatever, at first I erroneously would engage my tricep muscles. He said basically, when you do that, you do not engage it as much as you can, because that's what's going to cause the serious elbow pain and what have you, whether on the inside or out or both of your elbow, the golfer and tennis elbow thing. I'd like to, who else can I thank? Oh, yes. Uh, Stevie Salzman, my ex-girlfriend. Technically, it's complicated, but for her coming along with me and recording everything and being supportive, it was really nice to not do this alone. Um, Originally, as some of you may know, Blake was supposed to come with me, but like I mentioned earlier, he passed away, unfortunately, at the age of 22. He was an ex-Marine, and I swear to God, if he would have came to this tournament, Paul Italia would have had a good challenger because uh, I'm not going to go into detail, but because I know Blake and his abilities and his power um, and his skills and what have you, I probably wouldn't have as many medals as I do, which are three. I wouldn't have, but maybe one of these. Well, no, I take that back. Yeah, I take that back. Sorry, because if he'd have competed in the pro because he was a pro left-hander, number one in the state of Georgia. He had a very promising future. He seriously did, and I tried in my own way. Obviously, I'm not a promoter or anything, but I tried putting him out there and everything, along with what I was doing with my YouTube channel. Um, because if I had his power and strength and what have you, I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be doing some Eddie and weight stuff, going out in Walmart and arm wrestling any and everybody, and just really putting myself out there. That way, a promoter hits me up and I get sponsors and stuff like that because Blake deserved at least one sponsor, if not more, arguably. But anyways, um, again, I want to thank Paul Italia. Um, uh, for any of y'all who know of or about the supposed beef or whatever me and him had, uh, Paul Italia was very kind, very nice. He personally came up to me. I believe it was after the first go around of the right hand. I was actually on the phone with Mason, letting him know what's up because he had hit me up on my phone. And Stevie had let me know, and he came up to me with this Grip Arm Sport, one of his sponsors, strap. Um, he did say the other day or so about getting together afterwards, but I was burnt out. I was tired. Um, right now, I'm not really in terribly any much pain. Um, excuse me, but also I would like to thank Jarrell Scott for lending or actually giving me an armband so I could do rising and pronator exercises, basically what they call blood flow exercises with a band. And very much appreciate it. If I missed anybody to thank, uh, it wasn't intentional. Because there basically is a list. I like to thank my boss, Mr. Cortez Breezy Mason, my wonderful boss at the Freddy's Frozen Custards and Steak Burgers, for giving me 2 days off Friday to go out there. I unfortunately did not go to the beach. I wanted to go to the beach so bad. I ain't been to the beach since 2012. The last time I had been in Florida was '98 at my Uncle Russell's wedding. He wasn't able to show up. I don't know if you watched the live, but FAL League, Florida Arm Wrestling League, I got with a bunch of people to try and get to watch that pay-per-view, basically, or that event. Um, and yeah, trying to think of anybody else I may have missed. But thank you all. Um, and And now that it's over with, it's back to the drawing board, basically, I guess you could say, and back to training. And I don't know when I'm going to next compete at, whether it's going to be in the FAL again or it's going to be at some kind of state championship. Just right now, I'm more focused on getting stronger, more so tendon-wise, and also muscle-wise. But I seriously follow John Brzezink's wisdom in putting table time number one, and kind of even like he stated about himself, where he's very lazy about going to the gym and stuff. I'm basically following that. I may go to the gym like once or train on my own, doing some arm wrestling specific exercises, dealing with rising and pronation and my grip and my thumb webbing and stuff, and getting that webbing nice and fat, along with my thumb pad as well. Because technically, I know y'all may think I'm a flat wrist presser, and that's just what I went with. I felt it was like a very smart idea, because there were some strong dudes that maybe I shouldn't even been able to beat, but because I was smart enough to go with something that would put them on their bicep, I won. And there was like one or two, two. I don't know his name, but he was an older gentleman, very quiet seemingly and coy. I gave up on the right hand on that flat press, and I really felt like if I'd have stuck in there and just put some a little bit of tricep pressure on it, I probably would have had him. Another one was that Hispanic guy on the left arm, I believe. He seemed strong, but I just, you get in the heat of the battle, and these guys were putting some serious loading pressure on my hand and the setup and everything. And I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of distracting, because I know foundationally what I'm going to do, and then I was even moving around my elbow a little bit, trying to adjust. I remember one time briefly just switching from flat press, going the inside move stance and everything, to switching to a top roll setup and my stance and everything. Just really trying to be cerebral, but it was very hard because it was very intense and emotional and what have you. So, all my subscribers, thank you, all 42 of you, whoever y'all are. Stay tuned. There'll be more action. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. And again, like I said some time ago, may you be inspired to do something great with yourself, and what have you, whatever you have a passion for. Again, no matter whatever age you are. It's my first tournament. Wound up bringing home some gold, basically. So I'm kind of on top of the world right now. Not really. We'll see what comes in the future. Y'all have a good one.